All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again, once again with another classic, well overdue fucking live stream for you guys today. Sincerely hope everybody is blessed. Sincerely hope everybody's having a good one. The doc is having a great one. You know, good to see you guys in the building. It feels like I haven't done a live stream in a long time. It's probably been about a week or so. Doc's been busy doing his own thing, and I hope that you guys are blessed and you guys are having a great one. For anybody who's listening to this one on a replay, by all means, thank you for taking time out of your busy, beautiful schedule to spend some time with the good doc today. He highly appreciates it. But this topic right here is one that is well overdue. Doc has never touched on this topic, ever. I may have mentioned it in brief, but I've never touched on such a topic that has such implications as the one that we're going to speak on today, okay? But before we get into it, guys, make sure you get the likes up on this video. And if you guys want to support the channel, please feel free to do so. But of course, the good doc is happy that you come through, spend just a little bit of your time with him today. James Miller, much love to you, my brother. Thank you very much for that. All the way to my boy all the way in Indiana, wherever you are reporting in the world today. Let's do a quick time check. We are looking at 9:05 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are officially looking at about 8:05 in the a.m. for everybody in Central, and that makes it roughly about 6 a.m. for everybody repping that West Coast. So if you are up this early on the West Coast, by all means, I appreciate you getting up early in the morning and listening to the good doc. And I did hear about the earthquakes that were happening out there in Southern California. I hope all of my people out there in California are doing well, because that shit is something not to play with. All right, so much love to you guys. Sincerely glad that you guys are here to listen to this particular topic today. I wanted to wait for a couple of individuals to come into the live stream before I got started, but at the end of the day, we can always get started and they can always catch up. You know, they gonna pick up with the good docs putting down today, because this shit right here is something that I've been wanting to touch on for quite a long time. But you can never find the time to accurately discuss the situation as it stands. But who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, we're going to go balls to the wall and we're going to talk about it. Today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, today's topic, the pump and dump, smash and dash theory as it refers to foreigners traveling anywhere, not specifically just the Philippines, not specifically just Brazil or Thailand or any place like that. This could refer to foreigners traveling anywhere in the world where they are not the local. All right, we're going to talk about the smash and dash, pump and dump theory for foreigners that are choosing to travel, okay? I don't know if I need to go into detail about the definition of what the smash and dash, pump and dump is all about, but basically just think of your average sexpat, and that probably encompasses their ideology in its essence, okay? Your average sexpat comes to the country to do specifically what? Try to hook up with as many girls as they possibly can and ultimately pray that it all works out in that particular instance, okay? You know, when you think of the smash and dash, that's kind of my new phrase, but the pump and dump is something that has always been a part of vocabulary for anybody for as long as I can remember. It's basically you get with a girl, you have sex with the girl, you dump the girl, okay? Pretty much the simple explanation of what the pump and dump is all about, okay? But this is the thing that your average foreigner is going to partake in anyways, in the Philippines or anywhere in the world. But I will say that I am the type of person, honest to God, I am not the person that encourages this particular activity, even though I do encourage my fellow foreigners to date around before they choose to settle down. Let me say that one more time. I am a high advocate of dating around before settling down, because I've known guys that come into the country, get with the first girl that they meet, the first girl that says hi to them, the first girl that even looks at their way, blows a whistle their way, whatever it is, first person to even fucking say hi to you, whatever it may be, and you guys are so quick and pussy whipped before you even get any, and you guys settle for that particular girl. So I do encourage dating around before settling down. You've heard me say that time and time again. You've heard other foreigners or other expats say the exact same thing time and time again, simply because it's what needs to be done in order for you to find the right one. Again, I'll say that again. It is what needs to be done in order for you to find the right one, okay? But the whole, excuse me one second, but the whole pump and dump, smash and dash ideology is very interesting to me, because you'll have a lot of other foreigners, a lot of YouTubers who will say you should do this And they have their reasons for saying that you should do this. Maybe their heart was broken, whatever it may be. They have their reasons for why they encourage guys to sleep with as many women in the Philippines as humanly possible. I don't know why their reasons are. Sometimes they tell you, sometimes they don't. But sometimes it's really a deep-seated issue that may not be said, but ultimately you'll have a lot of guys that will come out and purposely tell you, look, if you want, you just hook up with as many girls as you possibly can and you make it happen for you. All right. And again, like I said, they have their reasons, but there is a lot, and I mean a lot to take into account when talking about this particular activity. There is a lot of things to be taken into consideration before you, the foreigner, come to the Philippines, Thailand, or whatever country you choose to settle down in. Before you choose to come to the country of your choosing and partake in said activity, there are three things specifically. Let me say that right. There are three things specifically that I want you to take into account. After I list these three things, I'm going to go to the chat, see what you guys have to say, and then I'm going to go on about my business because I do not wish to be before you long. This was supposed to be a video, but I wanted to bring it to your attention as a live chat simply because I felt like it was worthy of the discussion that can be had between us as foreigners and us as men who choose to travel to foreign countries. Okay, the first thing that you should take into consideration is some of these girls may not be clean. Now, a lot of you are a bunch of dirty dick foreigners. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Y'all probably a bunch of dirty dick motherfuckers anyways. And I mean no disrespect to you in particular, but if you motherfucking take this to heart, hit dogs holler, man. Like my pops always tell you, a lot of people will tell you only the hit dogs holler. So basically, you're probably a bunch of dirty dick motherfuckers anyways. But some of these girls aren't clean, okay? Some of them are not. If we're going to be honest, the smash and dash, pump and dump is usually done with the women that are promiscuous by nature. The women that, partake in said activities and get paid to do it, okay? That's what I'm going to say, and that's where I'm going to leave it. That's normally the ideology of those particular women, or those are the types of women that you're normally going to have said relationships with. Okay, the ones that are promiscuous by nature, etc., etc. Trying to do that with just any girl is not likely. A good girl, highly improbable, but I am not above saying this because I know it to be true. Some Filipinas are gullible, okay? And they may fall for your ways. If you're pretty good with your words, it could be relatively easy to get a Filipina to fall for your words, okay? They may fall for your words, and as a result of you doing this, of getting with the girls who are like this, what's going to end up happening is you're going to fuck it up for everybody who's actually looking for a positive, good relationship. Let me say that one more time. As a result of you partaking in this smash and dash, pump and dump ideology or theory in life, you're probably going to end up fucking it up for everybody else, whether you care or not. Some of these girls take what you've done to them into succeeding relationships or relationships that come after you. So if you partake in said activities, all you're going to do is just make it harder for the next man to undo the bullshit that you fucked up on. Let me say that one more time. All it is going to do is make it extremely difficult for the next guy to undo all of the shit that you previously did, okay? Just my little tidbit of information. That's number one. Some of these girls may not be clean, and if you do find the girl that is gullible enough to fall for your fucking ways, you're going to end up fucking it up for everybody else who tries to come after you, okay? That's number one. Number two, I'm sorry. Let me say this one more time because there's something I forgot to mention. For those that encourage this particular lifestyle, I wish that they would stop saying that all you have to do is wrap it up. Let me say that one more time. For those that partake in said activities, I wish that they would stop saying that all you have to do is wrap it up. All you have to do is use condoms. Because if we're being honest, in today's society, ladies and gentlemen, condoms don't stop every disease on planet Earth, okay? Let me say that one more time. Condoms don't stop everything. Yeah, it might fucking help you out against your common STDs, like your common fucking cold. It may help you with those, but there are some things that are out there that are a little bit stronger than your condom can take, all right? So let's make sure we keep that in mind. It kind of disappoints me, those that choose to encourage or those that choose to tell everybody that they should partake in said activities, that they don't mention the fact that there are some diseases out there that condoms just can't stop. Okay, that is all intertwined with number one. As I previously mentioned, I said I got three. We're on number two. Number two, partaking in this activity likely will mean a lot of island hopping and bouncing around. Again, the second thing that you need to note in partaking in this pump and dump, smash and dash theology as being a foreign traveler, there's going to be a lot of moving around for you, okay? And let me explain why. Think about it. You can't expect to hit up 5 or 10 girls in the same area and expect them not to find out about each other. That's just fucking stupid. You can't sleep with 5, 10 girls in the same area and expect them not to find out about each other. Okay? You just can't. You just cannot. So don't even try to play that game. Just don't. It's not in your best interest, okay? Hopefully when they do find out, you know, because eventually I do believe that they will, the least that they will do is ruin your reputation. The least thing that they will do when they find out about your activities, the least they will do is ruin your reputation. Because in case you forgot, and in case you don't realize this, Filipinos have very, very big families. Okay? I don't know if they have bigger families than the Hispanic society, because I do know Hispanics do have larger families as well. Black people have large families too. But in the Philippines, you don't know how many fucking relatives these women have until you fuck them over. Because then uncles, father, cousins, brothers, all of these motherfuckers gonna come looking for your ass. Which is why I told you there will be a lot of island hopping involved if you choose to partake in said activity. You're going to be moving around a lot because it's not going to be easy for you to stay in that same area when you're fucking under attack or when you're under investigation or people are trying to find you. Okay? Just wanted to make sure I note that as well. Again, you got to be prepared to move around a lot. You know, we know a couple of guys who have had to make these moves in the past. We're not dumb. I've seen it happen. You hear about these guys talking about, yeah, man, I just want to see a different island. You know, I just feel like seeing a different island. I want to just explore the Philippines a little bit. Motherfucker, you probably got caught up in some bullshit and your ass had to move. Let's not sugarcoat this shit. Doc ain't here to play games with y'all. I'm not here to fucking play with your ball sacks and shit. I'm here to be real with you. I'm here to tell you exactly what you need to hear. Because this is the truth, and the truth shall set us all free. You cannot expect to be dealing with 5 to 10 girls at the exact same time, trying this pump and dump, smash and dash theology in the same area and expect that you're going to be able to get away with it. I think that you are sadly fucking mistaken, okay? That's my number 2. All right, there's one more. Let me get my one more out and I'll run to the chat. I see 17 watching. Thank you guys for listening to The Good Die. Please make sure you get the likes up on the video. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're new to this bitch. Make sure that you get the likes up. And for those that want to contribute and, help The Good Doc out in this journey, by all means, please feel free to do so. But of course, The Good Doc is happy that you come through. Spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Now and then. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Nameda Tatlo, a.k.a. number 3. The last thing that I want to discuss as it pertains to the pump and dump theology, the smash and dash, whatever you want to call it, as a part of being the foreigner in the Philippines or the foreign traveler, is this. Please, 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 please do not try to convince others that it is possible to get away with doing this if you explain the situation to a Filipina and claim that they accept it. Okay? Don't try to tell me or convince me that it is possible to get away with this activity. You know, if you explain the situation to a Filipina and she claims to be able to accept it and understand it. What do I mean by this? Don't sit there and tell me that you're going to be the free guy in the Philippines after you hooked up with a girl and you're going to go to this girl and say, you know, baby, I just want to hook up with you. This is just a free-spirited, open relationship type of situation. Don't tell me that you're going to be able to get away with that shit and she's going to be okay with you sleeping with other girls. That's what I mean. There is no way in this fucking world that you're going to be able to tell me and convince me that other girl is going to be okay with you sleeping with other girls. Not in this fucking lifetime. Can you imagine if I tried that shit with the mean one? Let's talk about that for a second. Can you imagine if I told my girlfriend, yeah, do you mind if I have a girlfriend on the side? I probably wouldn't be here today. It's the simple fact that I'm trying to explain this situation. And the reason that this is because it's laughable to me because you have to take into consideration the jealous nature of Filipinas. We've talked about how jealous Filipinas are. Come on, man. We had this conversation so many times. It's fucking old. I'm tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. But we've had this conversation so many times. It's boring to me. We all know Filipinas are jealous. We all know about the tempo, the ampo, whatever you want to fucking call it. We all know that Filipinos are jealous by nature. So for me to sit here and honestly believe that you're going to tell me that you've been able to convince other girls, To convince a girl that you're sleeping with that you want to sleep with other girls, and she actually sits there and says, okay, I will let you sleep with other girls. Come on, man. That's just fucking stupid. That dumb to me. That dumb to motherfucker. But if you could do it, more power to you. Now, it's just that the idea of her seeing you with another guy is not going to make her jealous. For you to sit there and act like that's not going to happen is just laughable. It just doesn't seem realistic. And we're talking about this from a realistic perspective. Let me make sure that we understand this. Realistically, for your average foreigner, you in particular, maybe you got the game, the mouthpiece, maybe you could pull it off. I don't know. As a matter of fact, for example, there is a YouTuber that we are very, very, very aware of that constantly talks about having a wife and a girlfriend. Big salute to him. We know who he is. No name needs to be said. Again, his situation is not a common situation. Let me say that one more time. His particular situation, how it is presented on TV or presented on a YouTube video, is a fucking, how can I say this? It's not rare. It's not common. It's not as if you can do the exact same thing that he can do. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. You, on average, the average foreigner, I'm not talking about you specifically, okay? Let me make that abundantly clear. I'm not speaking to you specifically. But at the end of the day, for an average foreigner, it's hard for me to be able to sit there and believe that you're going to be able to pull off both of those, and they both know about each other. That's all I'm saying. And I see my man MD say, don't hate the players. I'm not hating on you. If you can pull it off, more power to you. But if we're being realistic, let's be honest. If we're being realistic, how can you honestly sit here and tell me that you're going to get it to the point where a Filipina is not going to be jealous when she sees you holding hands, hooking up with other girls right in front of her face, and she's just supposed to be okay with that? Come on, man. Who the fuck you think you're trying to convince here? Let's be honest. You're talking about a dude that spent 10 years in this fucking country. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just being realistic for your average foreigner. Let me make that abundantly clear. I will never say that it is impossible to do that. Never say it's impossible. But from a realistic perspective, how can you honestly convince me that Filipinas are going to be okay with you sleeping with other Filipinas? I know what you guys are going to say. Go ahead and get it out the way because I know what's coming. Oh, man, if I got the money, man, nobody gives a fuck because cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Okay, I know. The Wu-Tang Clan song. I know the shit. All right, I understand. I understand that if you have money, maybe you can convince them. But just because you have money, that does not mean that a Filipina is not going to be jealous of seeing you with other women. You do realize that they want to keep all that money in-house. Let me say that one more time. Even when it comes to these ladies of the night, the ladies who work in the club, they want to keep all that money in-house. What do they call that? I remember one time my boy, Black American Expat, told me this, and this was the funniest thing ever because I lived in the country 10 years, and I didn't know what this meant. But he is the one that explained to me what a butterfly was. Because I was like, what the fuck is a butterfly? I lived in the country for 10 years. I wasn't really into the club scene. So going to the bars and shit like that, I didn't know what a butterfly was. He explained it to me. And I was like, damn, that's what it means, basically, jumping from girl to girl or some shit like that. Most of these girls, to an extent, want to keep all that money in-house. They want to be the ones getting all of the money. So still, even if you have money, how are you going to convince me that a Filipina isn't going to be jealous? Even if she could give a fuck about your sex game, she cares about the green in that pocket, and she wants to keep it all in-house. You feel me? So to me, it's just going to be hard for me to be able to convince that. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Realistically, again, I'm being realistic. I'm not saying that you can't do it because a lot of people will be like, oh, Mike, you hating. No, motherfucker, no, I'm not hating. I'm just being real for your average foreigner, not talking to you specifically. I'm talking about the average foreigner who sees this shit happening on a YouTube channel or sees this shit happening in a guy's video, and they expect that they're actually going to be able to do the same when they get here. Come on, man. It takes a little bit more than cash in the pocket to be able to accomplish that. Now, if you're hooking up with girls that don't know about each other, that's a different situation. I'm talking about specifically a situation where the girl is understandable of the fact that you're sleeping with other girls and you're actually with her as well. Can't see that being a plausible situation where you're going to be able to get away with it. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Let me see what else I got written here before I get out of here. That's it. Those are my three things right there. Whether you believe them, whether you like them or not, these are the three things to take into consideration when you're choosing to partake in the pump and dump, smash and dash ideology, etc., as it pertains to being a foreign traveler. Okay, number one, some of these girls may not be clean. Some of these bitches is dirty. Be honest. Number two, partaking in this activity is likely going to mean a lot of island hopping and bouncing around. You're not going to be able to sleep with 5 to 10 girls and stay in the same city without them knowing about each other. Stupid. All right. Number three, even if they do know about each other, how are you going to convince me that you're not going to deal with jealousy of any kind? Unless you're Muslim and you can have multiple wives and shit because it's part of your culture and your nature, and the women understand that that's part of the culture and the religion. I don't know, man. You'd be hard pressed to convince me of that shit. And let's not always believe what we see on these YouTube videos as it's going to be something that is factual for ourselves, okay? Let us not believe that what we see on these YouTube fucking videos is going to be factual for ourselves. That's all I'm saying. Realistic. Doc is a realistic person. And realistically, I can't see that being... I cannot see that happening for your average foreigner. Let me say this again. The average foreigner. A lot of us are above average, okay? I'm going to be real with you. Plenty of us are above average. But for your average foreigner, can't see that being plausible. Ladies and gentlemen, the doc has said his piece. I'm going to run to the chat real quick. I don't want this video to be extremely long. I just wanted to be able to say my piece. I want people to be able to hear what I have to say from beginning to end. Beginning to no end. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you guys are well aware of what could potentially happen should you choose to partake in the activity aforementioned. You read the titles, ladies and gentlemen. Doc doesn't have to explain what this really means, but for those that are living under a rock and those that don't understand the terminology that I use, scroll all the way back to the beginning of this video and you'll be able to pick up what the good doc is putting down. Again, I appreciate all 14 of you guys coming through and showing love to the good doc. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you being here. It is early in the morning, so I'm kind of disappointed. I would have loved to do this one at night because I'm pretty sure there would have been a lot of active participation. But at the end of the day, the doc's got to do the videos as they come. I couldn't wait for this one, all right? It struck me this morning. I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in, guys, so y'all getting it right now, raw, real, and uncut. I'm pretty sure this video is not going to be monetized, all the cursing that I just did. I got to start making family-friendly content, man. This is crazy. You know, it sucks, man, when you look in your YouTube channel and you see that yellow ring on all your videos because YouTube like, nah, man, we can't put that shit up without it being, you know, ads or whatever the fuck. All right. Anyways, my man MD, my man says, I appreciate you guys coming through. I see you first in the building. He says, if I did not meet my wife, I'd probably be a pump and dumper for a few months in the Philippines. I just have to do the bar girls like some foreigners do, laughing my ass off. Yeah, that's pretty laughable, my dude. But yes, sir, my man Eddie W, appreciate you coming through. Chris, I see you in the building, man. Thank you for coming through and showing love. My man James Miller, appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate the love you show to the good dog, man, all the way from the great state of Indiana. My man Mr. Wonderful, appreciate you coming through and showing love. My man MD says, my wife makes sure I'm up by 7 a.m. whether I'm off or not. Welcome to the married life. Well, me and my lady, we sleep in all the time, so it don't really matter. Sometimes when I'm in the Philippines, I don't wake up till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I can't help it, man. He says being a pump and dumper is not too crazy, especially if you're the doormat of the feminist Western woman. I think that's what most foreigners do it. So the reason you believe most foreigners partake in this activity is because of how they were treated in the United States. That's a valid point. I'm not going to overlook that. I didn't really explain the reasons why guys do it, but yes, that is definitely a valid point. That's probably one of the reasons why they do it. But I'm going to tell you why you probably shouldn't take it to the extreme. That's what I want to focus on. If you're going to do it, again, I encourage dating around before settling down. I said that, and I'm going to stick to that until the day that I die. There's nothing wrong with dating a couple of girls before you find the one that is right for yourself. Let's not get out of hand, okay? Let's not get carried away because of those 3 reasons that I mentioned in this video. All right, my man Kyle Winston, what's good with you, man? He says they are not getting any sex in their own home country, so they are frustrated when they get to the Philippines and go crazy. Also, it's very easy. It is easy to partake in said activity, but it's not always the best activity to partake in. He said, I had my fun when I was younger, and now I'm very picky with who I date. But see, okay, I like Cal Winston. You said something very interesting there. You said you had your fun when you were younger, but you're very picky now that you've gotten a little older. We have to realize that the guys that we're talking about, the guys that are coming to the Philippines, aren't 18. They're not fucking 25. A lot of them are fucking 50. A lot of them are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, traveling later on in life. Now, if it was a younger guy, 18-year-old to about 27, I don't believe he's ever going to be settling down anytime soon, especially if it's his first time to the country. You have to realize that the lifestyle that I lived when I first got here was awesome. I was able to live it at a young age, but, like you said, as you get older, you do get picky, and you definitely want a whole lot more. Cal says, stay in big cities when partaking in this type of activity, like Metro Manila. Yes, if you do stay in the bigger cities, you might be able to get away with dealing with 5 to 10 girls. I'm more so speaking along the lines of those in the provincial type areas. Like I'm using Davao City as an example. Can't do that in Davao. I wouldn't even remotely tell you guys to even try that shit. Maybe 2. You might get away with 2. You might get lucky that they're not cousins. I get lucky that they're not extended relatives in some way, shape, or form. I do believe in the 6 degrees of separation, as in somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows the girl that you're sleeping with, and also knows the other girl that you're sleeping with. I kind of feel like that's just a reality. But, that's just the way I think. Maybe a lot of people don't think the same way, and that's cool. No, MD, I don't blame the players, man. I do not blame them. If they can do it, more salute to them. Still got to be careful, though, man. You do realize that diseases exist, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody wants to get clapped. I like my seafood, baby, but I want the crabs on my plate, not on my body. I'm just being real. Let's keep it real with one another, man. You gotta be careful with how you choose to play the game. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I say no more. My man Cal Winston said, I have found a Filipina that is okay with that. She wanted to bring chicks into the relationship. Of course, this was in Manila. Okay. If it's the girl's idea, it's different. If it's the female's idea, it's different. I'm talking about you being the guy trying to convince the Filipina of that. That's what I'm talking about. If the Filipina's okay with it, more power to you, bro. Do you? Again, there are different, how can I say this? There are amendments to every law or some shit, whatever I'm saying. There are, ways, what do you call them? They're abbreviations or whatever the fuck that word is I'm looking for. Amendments, or there are exceptions to the rule. There you go. Damn, Doc's getting old. There are exceptions to the rule. All right? That's what I will say. My man Elgo says that married one with the girlfriend even has wife number 1 filming the other 2 in the hot tub. Well, at the end of the day, man, it is what it's going to be, but I want you to understand that that particular situation is not realistic for everybody. Let me say that again. It's not coming from a place of hate. Okay? See, I think people are going to naturally get this fucked up about the good doc. I don't give a fuck about what everybody else is doing. I can only worry about what I am doing. I can only worry about me and my situation. But what I'm saying is this. You cannot, under any circumstances, look at another man's situation and say that's going to be me. Does that make sense? From a realistic aspect, you can't look at another man's situation and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that when I get to the Philippines. I'm gonna have me 3 girlfriends when I get to the Philippines. Because realistically, depending on the types of women you choose to deal with, that's not gonna always be acceptable. All I'm saying. My man James says, check this out. A lot of younger Filipina girls I know. He said, half of the girls I know have girlfriends. Why not bang both? If you get away with it, man, do you? My man Pedro in the building was good. Cal says, times are changing, Mike, very quick. Filipinos are more open-minded today. Cal Winston, you my boy, and I love you. But you gonna actually sit there and try to tell me and convince me that this open-mindedness is gonna be okay with you sleeping with other women? You're gonna tell me that a Filipino is not gonna be jealous of you sleeping with another girl? I don't care how you spin it. Times are changing. Yes, there are a lot of liberated Filipinas. I will say that. But I just don't believe that you're going to sit there and convince me that they're not going to be jealous of you sleeping with other girls. Unless they're partaking of the activity with you guys. Again, if it's the girl's idea, it's different. I will say that if it's the female's idea, that's a whole different story. I'm talking, excuse me. I'm talking about you as the foreigner trying to convince the Filipina. That's what I'm talking about. If it's the girl's idea, that's a whole different thing. Again, open-minded today. I understand your point, but unless it's her idea, you can't convince me that she's not going to be jealous. My man MD says, dating another woman while you have a Filipino woman would never work. Filipino women are too jealous for that. Exactly. And that would not work with any woman who respects herself anyway. Thank you. You know what, man? You're preaching to the choir for that one, man. I might need to put you on the deacon's board, bro. Doc gonna be the preacher, man. You're gonna be the assistant pastor or some shit in this bitch, because that shit right there is preaching to the choir. Those who allow that shit to happen have very little respect for themselves. But I guess as the guy, you could care less about a woman's respect, right? I guess. I don't know how that game goes, but I feel you. I like that. I'm gonna use that shit because that makes very much sense. You really hit the nail on the head with that one. The girls who do allow it, open-minded or not, they probably lack self-esteem and all of that shit. Now, to a guy who was manipulative as fuck, that is a gold mine. I'm not gonna lie. A gullible how can I say this? A gullible Filipina is probably a man's gold mine because they can shape that woman into anything that they want her to be. But if she don't stand up on her own, what's the saying? How the saying go? Got to get the saying right. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. Let me say that one more time. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. And that's just the way life cycle rolls. My man Rob 100, appreciate you coming through, bro. It's been a minute. He says pumping and dumping by a foreigner is equivalent of a Filipino chatting and dashing. In 99% of cases, a foreigner is only a number to a Filipina as she waits for the best opportunity. That's not inaccurate. I agree. That's not an inaccurate statement. He says they are not as innocent as many make them out to be. They know the game. Everybody knows that. Your average Filipina who's played the game knows the game. So I do not disagree with that statement. My man Quint Willis, what's good, man? He says, what's up, Dr. Mike, Atlanta, Georgia in the house. Appreciate you coming all the way from the ATL to spend some time with the good doc. Thank you guys for being here again. My man, Mr. Wonderful says, stop pumping and dumping and have all these girls getting pregnant. There you go. That's what a lot of guys don't take into consideration either. Aside from the fact that you could get caught up in a bunch of diseases, pregnancy is a real thing in the country, and we do have a lot of foreigners who are just knocking girls up and then running away from their responsibilities. Again, just give us foreigners another reason to look bad. Go ahead, man. Just keep doing what you need to do to make us look like shit. That's all I need you to do. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep up the good work. My man Dante Will in the building. What's good with you, bro? My man Rob says, I've noticed a double standard when it comes to pumping and dumping. Would you agree that the average white guy pumping and dumping is more accepted by the Filipina? Yeah. Dude, come on, man. White guys get away with everything in the Philippines. Shit. I ain't afraid to say it. You can't be black in doing that. Number one, because you stand out like a sore thumb. That's why you can't be black and pumping and dumping. You can't be smashing and dashing and be black. You just want to give them another reason to hate on us. Come on, man. Let's not give them any more reasons to have naysayer comments about our own people. But then again, a lot of that's happening in Angeles City. Is there a double standard? No, let's say it like this. I think that the Caucasian male is easily forgiven for doing it. Easily forgiven in reference to, being the African American and doing the exact same thing. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Nobody really gives a fuck anymore. You just got to deal with the way things are and roll with the punches, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the way life is. I ain't mad at anybody who chooses to do it. Just know that, there is consequences for these actions, okay? I just want you to understand there are consequences for these actions. Let's say you are able to have a relationship with 3 women, whatever it may be, however that situation may unfold, and they all know about each other, let's say that you're actually able to make that happen. What do you sacrifice in return? You got to take care of all three of them girls, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all think it's easy trying to take care of a Filipina. Shit. Y'all don't see. Here's the funny part about the entire situation. We only see what people want you to see. You know, we only see what people want us to see. What do I mean by this, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, it looks like a magnificent lifestyle for me to be able to have three women that are openly acceptable of being with each other and openly acceptable to the idea of me being able to sleep with all three of them. Maybe even at the exact same time. It's awesome. But you still got to take care of those girls. If they're your girls, you got to take care of them. That requires monetary means, okay? And aside from the monetary aspect, let's act like money's not a factor. You're dealing with three different women, three different emotions, three different lifestyles, three different types of people. Does that make sense to you? Does that fucking make sense to you? Have you ever tried to deal with a Filipina with three different types of, how can I say this? Three different types of attitudes and personalities. You have to literally try to understand each of them. You have to understand that when girls are going through their monthly bids, these motherfuckers are going to be on edge. So you got to deal with the attitude. And again, don't just say, oh man, when she's going through that, I won't fuck with her. Again, these are your three girlfriends. How are you not going to deal with them? How are you going to sit there and convince me that you're not going to deal with these women on any circumstances if you're choosing to sleep with three different women at the exact same time? So aside from the fact that money may not be an obstacle, money may not be a thing, you got to deal with the emotional aspect of dealing with Filipinas. Let's say they're not jealous of the fact that you're hooking up with other women, but yet and still that's your woman. So when she's going through issues and problems, you have to sit there and listen to three different sets of issues and fucking problems. You know how hard it is for me to keep up with the mean ones' issues and problems? Can you imagine me trying to do that with two other women at the exact same time? Guys, Doc would go crazy. I can't do it. I'm not built for that shit. If you're built for that shit, by all means, more power to you, my brother. More power to you. But I'm telling you, three different women, three different emotions at the exact same time, because these are your three different girlfriends, dealing with texting three different women at the exact same time, dealing with the issues that they may have with each other. Maybe they're not jealous because you're sleeping with them. Maybe you're giving too much attention to one of them and not enough attention to the other. These are shit that this is realistic, natural, real world shit that you're going to have to deal with sleeping with three women, even if they're not jealous, even if they are open-minded to you being with them, and even if they could care less about you fucking other women. When they're going through something emotional, they're going to come to your ass. Are you ready for that shit on three different occasions at the exact same time? I'm telling you, man, there's a lot to fucking take into consideration, but Doc don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Right? I'm just a hater and I'm jealous. Everybody puts out information that they want you to see. What happens on a day-to-day basis? What happens when the cameras are off? Y'all don't see that shit. And I'm straight up. I wish my boy, the Observer Melanin, was in here right now, because I would have to ask him a very, very pertinent question. Because he's told me on time and time again that he's dealing with two Filipinas at the exact same time. I want to know how he would specifically handle dealing with two different sets of emotions at the exact same time. Girls menstruating at the exact same time, that's highly unlikely, but still, if it happens, going through emotional issues at the exact same time, you got to be present for both of them. Fuck, man, you're only one guy. You have to spread yourself over three women. When they fucking say they need you now, you better drop everything you motherfucking doing and go to them now. If that's your girl. I understand if you're just hooking up with this girl, she could wait. But if this is supposed to be one of the three girls you're supposedly in a relationship with, per se, along with two other women, at the end of the day, how are you going to balance your time between three girls? Balance your emotional stability amongst three girls. Forget the money aspect. Forget the jealousy aspect. How can you manage three different women, three different emotional activities at the exact same time? I'm telling you, you won't know until that situation hits, bro. I'm telling you, you will never know until that situation hits. And when shit hit the fan, boy, I hope you're ready, boy. That's all I'm going to tell you. Trust me. Trust me. Y'all act like I don't know, but I'm telling you. I am telling you. When the shit hit the fan, bro, I hope you ready. Cause that shit gonna blow up in your motherfucking face. If you can't give that girl the time that she needs when she needs it, she gone. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. After a while, sleeping with 3 different women ain't gonna be fun no more. You know what's gonna end up happening? And I'm gonna give you the truth. You sleeping with 3 different women, and let's say that's a long-term bid. Let's say you're able to accomplish that over a year, 2-year span. What's gonna end up happening? You're probably gonna get bored with that. What happens when you get bored? You're gonna try to treat these women as if they're interchangeable. You're gonna say, well, she don't do it for me anymore, so let me trade her out and bring somebody else into the fold. Oh my God, man. You guys have to bring this shit down to earth just for a second. All the doc is asking, let's be realistic from the aspect of not what we see happening for other people, but what is realistic as life comes to us. If I'm talking out the side of my ass, please tell me. If you think that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, tell me where I am wrong in this entire situation, and I will gladly answer why I am accurate with what the fuck I'm talking about. If you guys haven't had any of these situations, then you've never been in a long-term relationship with a Filipina. All I'm gonna tell you. If you ain't never had this shit happen to you, emotional issues and shit like that, then you ain't never been in a long-term relationship. So how are you going to sit there and honestly tell me you're going to be able to keep up with 3 women at the exact same time that all know about each other? Come on, man. Who you think you fooling? I don't give a fuck how old I am. You talking to the OG in this bitch. I know this shit. Doc don't talk shit for no fucking reason. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But again, if you can convince yourself otherwise, by all means, more power to you, my brother. Some more power to all y'all. Now that I said my piece, since people don't believe that, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. My man Elgo says, so there is no concept of the side chick in the Philippine culture. Hell yeah, there is the concept. You can't imagine how many fucking Filipino guys have what they refer to as the other woman. That's what they call it. The side chick is also called the other woman. They made a movie about that. Google it. It had Derek Ramsey and Curtis and fucking Christine. What's the bitch name? God dang it. Christine something. But it was a movie called The Other Woman. Google it. That is what most people in this society, when that movie came out, it shed a lot of light on the other woman type scenario here in the Philippines. Call it the side chick. I don't care what you call it. It's all the same shit. Basically, the story plot goes Derek Ramsey was married to this one chick in the movie. Ann Curtis was the side chick. The side chick got emotionally attached and shit. And then the situation fucking blew up. The end. Okay? It's kind of how it happened. So, for you to sit there and act like that shit don't happen, you sadly mistaken, man. I don't know who you're trying to fool. But, you know, this open-minded shit, yeah, they open-minded, but good luck with dealing with the emotional stability of these women. Like my man said, the ones that allow this to happen may have low self-esteem. So can you imagine trying to deal with her at her lowest point, trying to boost her up and cheer her up? They're not going to believe it simply because they have already allowed you to basically run shop all over them. They have basically allowed you to do as you please with them. So now you're trying to convince them that they're worthy of something, but they don't feel worthy of shit. But Doc don't know what he talking about, though. He just talking out the side of his dick because at the end of the day, I don't know nothing in this world. Again, I'm not the OG in this bitch. They don't know me like that. See, here's the real. And I tell people this all the time, but y'all don't get it. What my situation is right now, my current status, I'm good. I'm happy. But don't think for one motherfucking second that I can't tell you about other shit too. Y'all do realize 10 years in this motherfucking country has turned this motherfucker into a boss, man. It's a rough way of life, and I don't care how you sugarcoat it or how you slice it. Doc knows what the fuck you talking about. However you spin it, however you slice it, there's always going to be something for you to take into consideration when it comes to dealing with multiple women at the exact same time, whether she's okay with it or not. All I'm going to say, the end. But yes, there is a such thing as the side chick in the Philippines. They're just called the other woman. My man MD says, yeah, most of the Filipinos on the dating websites know the game, but the majority of the ones who are not on the dating websites tend to be more naive. True. My man Eddie Jackson, appreciate you coming through, bro. My man Rob says, let's keep it 100. He says, in most cases, foreigners aren't getting any back home. True. So pumping and dumping is taking advantage of the opportunities not available back home. It's like the kid in the candy store. I ain't mad at you for doing it. If you do it, just do it realistically. 2 women, okay. 2 girls, that's fine. 3 girls, okay. 5 women, you're being greedy. 5 women, you're starting to be a little greedy. Again, if you're a single man, I can't stop you from dating around. Again, didn't I fucking tell you that? There is nothing wrong with dating around before settling down. I have nothing against it. Okay? I will say that time and time again. But goddamn, man, let's be realistic in our quotient. Let's bring it down a notch, because then after a while, you're gonna start becoming that dirty motherfucker in the Philippines, because you've been done stuck your thing and everything walking. Not always a good look. That's the best way for me to say it. It's not always a good look. If you're dealing with professional women, though, that's different. That's different. If you're dealing with women who have a lot going for themselves and can bring more to the relationship than just laying on their backside, that's a whole different story. You understand? So, again, the quality of the woman you're dealing with also plays an important factor. I don't think that you're going to be able to convince a woman who is of the working class, who has a good job, who's doing for themselves, yeah, baby, let me be in a relationship with somebody else, please. I don't see that fucking happening. Again, it does depend on the quality of women that you're dealing with as well. So, a lot of things to take into consideration when it comes to the pumping and dumping, smashing and dashing theory as the foreign traveler. Doc has said his piece, man. Doc has said his motherfucking piece. But you're right, though. The kid in the candy store does exist. I call Angeles City the grown man's Disneyland for a good reason. That place right there will turn any man into a simp, turn him into just, I don't know, man. Angeles does something to a man. I don't care how red pill, how MGTOW you are. Angeles does something to you. And you know what's interesting? And I say this with all due respect, okay? Fuck me. And I hate to say this. I hate to say it. I have nothing but love. I have nothing but love for the dude, Terry. Y'all know who, you know Terry. My man, Terry. Terry was a good dude to me, okay? Terry was a good dude. Let me talk about Terry for a minute. Y'all remember Terry. I'm not stupid. Okay? Terry was nice to me. Matter of fact, when Terry had a large channel and he was frequent on his larger channel, he brought me on to his channel to do an interview when I only had like maybe 200 or 300 subscribers. So Terry did me a favor and helped me get subscribers as well. I will never have anything bad to say about Terry, okay? I respect the man. Got nothing but love for him. Don't know where he is in the world today, but if he is listening to me, I send my salute to him. But what happened to Terry when Terry went to Angeles City? We're talking about Red Pill MGTOW Terry. He had a channel titled, the motherfucker's name was MGTOW Terry to an extent. But what happened to Terry when he was making his Angeles videos? What happened? My man was all up in the circuit. My man was all over Fields Avenue and shit, killing it. Am I right or wrong? So, again, I don't care how red pill, MGTOW motherfucker you are. When you go to Angeles City, it does something to a man that a man cannot control. And that is my piece. It is a grown man's Disneyland for a reason. It's real. The shit is real out there. If you want to have fun, go there, have your fun. I say if you want to pump and dump, everybody go to Angeles City, okay? Don't fuck around in my areas, okay? Let me say that one more time. Don't fuck around in Mike's area. Don't fuck around in the Good Doc's area, okay? Y'all go to Angeles City where everybody else does that shit. A place that I don't go, so that I'm good. Don't try to do that shit where the doc lays his head at night. That's not comforting. That's not comforting to me. Okay? So y'all do what y'all gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. My man Kyle Winston said, yeah, I know what movie you're talking about. That movie sparked a genre of shows that were just interesting. All of the shows had the same topic. Dude's in a relationship with a woman, possibly married. Then dude has a side chick, the end. How was it going to end up, right? Or dude gets side chick pregnant, etc., etc. The end. They spawned a whole bunch of different TV shows based off of that movie, The Other Woman. Philippine movie. It was crazy. All right, but yeah, the shit happened. Derek met that chick in Angeles City. Nah, I don't think it was Angeles. Yeah, Christine Reyes. Thank you. I was fucking losing it. I forgot her name, but yeah, man, that movie was the shit. It's called No Other Woman or The Other Woman. One of them damn movies. Y'all know what the fuck I'm trying to say. If I got the title wrong, my bad. Y'all know what I was trying to say. Shout out to the homie Terry Edwards. What's good? MD says I don't know why married foreigners even live there. They would mess up your marriage. True that. No, Cal Winston. It was Ann Curtis, Christine Reyes, and Derek Ramsey. It should be called The Other Woman. I thought something like that. The Other Woman, No Other Woman. You got me. Whatever it is, that's the movie I'm talking about. But yeah. Again, we do what we do, guys. Again, as we conclude this live show, as we conclude this moment, I appreciate you guys coming through, spending time with the good doc. It was fun. I got my piece out. Maybe you guys pay attention. Maybe you could care less about what I have going on. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to speak realism into a lot of people's lives. And again, if you are the type to partake in the smash and dash pump and dump, don't go for 100 women. Limit yourself to 5 or less. Excuse me. Can't even say that shit with a straight face. Limit yourself to 5 or less. All right? Be realistic, man. Let's not spread diseases, okay? Let's be honest, because that shit happens. You nasty. That shit fucked up. You nasty like that. So, again, wrap it up. Always true. However you spin it, got to make sure you wrap it up. Also, as it pertains to this situation, just be realistic in your approach to things like this. And if you are living here and you are able to accomplish, being with multiple women that know about each other at the exact same time, more power to you. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot that goes with that. You can have all the money in the world, but dealing with women on their emotional side, that's a lot to take, man. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I'm not mad. Again, I did say from the beginning, what did I say? Damn, I forgot what I said. I forgot the words that I used, but date around before you settle down. I always say that, and I'm always going to continue to say that. I keep repeating that because it falls along the lines of the smashing and dashing, but not really. You're actually genuinely interested in the woman you're sleeping with. Not necessarily just trying to hook up with them and get them out of your way. Okay, so that's how the two of them actually differ. Okay, you might be interested in a girl that you are partaking in intimate relationships with, not just a girl you're trying to hook up with right now and kick out the next day. Okay, that's what makes dating around before settling down different from smashing and dashing. Okay. Aside from that fact, I appreciate you guys coming through. Doc's had a fun one. I got everything that I needed to say off my chest. Whether you agree or disagree, thank you for spending your time here. You could have been anywhere in the world today. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning for most of you guys in the United States of America, and I appreciate you taking the time to come through, spend a little bit of time with the good doc. But in conclusion, if I had to conclude this topic, I'm not mad at you for doing it. I will never hate on you for doing it. I kind of feel like all foreigners who come to the Philippines in one way or another partake in this activity. Some are a little bit more discreet about it. Some want people to know about their conquest, and others take a more legitimate approach, as in, how can I say this? They take a more genuine, legit approach, as in, yeah, I may be sleeping with this girl, but I'm not just trying to get rid of her like that. It's kind of what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, however you choose to live your life, Doc is not here to tell you how to live your life. I just gave you my couple of pesos on the entire situation. However you deem fit, however you choose to navigate and do as you do, please do. I'm not here to stop you from doing anything, but I just say go to Angeles City. That is my only recommendation. If you're going to partake in this activity, I say go ahead and run to Angeles City, because at the end of the day, it's acceptable there. I believe it is acceptable in Angeles, however you say it. I kind of feel like that's the norm out there, so nobody's going to judge you for doing it. That's what I truly, truly feel. You're not going to be judged on it. I feel like that place negates just about every tip that I gave. You don't need to move from island to island or move from place to place in Angeles City, because if they see you with a different girl every night, nobody's going to care. Again, some of the women may not be clean. That's always a positive anywhere that you go. But in Angeles City, something to take into high consideration. And then the third one, getting away with it. You know, Filipinas being okay with you sleeping with other women and they know about it. Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue in Angeles City either at all. Again, sometimes you could get two girls at one time out of the club if you want to. If that's your lifestyle, do you, boo? Do you? We gotta do what we gotta do, bruh. My man said, I gotta find a way to get out of here and to the Philippines. Everybody needs to find their way out of their current situation if they are miserable. If you are miserable, you need to find a way. It doesn't even have to be in the Philippines. If Thailand is your place or is your preference, or any other Southeast Asian country or any other place, wherever it is in the world, Brazil, you know, the DR, the whole nine. If those are your places, man, do what you got to do, man, to get the hell up out of there. Because you only live once, man. I will never say YOLO. I said it, but I hate that fucking phrase. I think that shit was ugly when I first heard it, and I never say it again. But you do, bro. You got one life to live, man. You got to live it up. Dude, I came to the Philippines when I was 18 years old. I still continue to travel there on a yearly basis, annual basis, and for good reason. I'm not going to sit there and wait until it's time for me to retire to travel. That shit gay. That shit's stupid. I ain't about to wait till retirement to travel, and I don't think you should either. Take time off work. Get the fuck out, man. Sometimes you can take that time off. Tell your work you need 2 weeks, man, to recharge. Come to the Philippines, man. Come to Thailand. Go to DR. If you need to recharge, and that 2-week vacation, that would probably be the only time where I would not be mad at you if you never left your hotel room, if you know what I mean. If you are taking a 2-week vacation and you are traveling for a specific purpose, I know I don't encourage this, but sometimes guys just need a recharge. I would say get up with a couple of ladies that you know, have some fun, man. Enjoy your little 2 weeks and keep it pushing. But if you're living here, if you're taking longer vacations, months at a time, if you can afford to, you know, try to come up with, you know, other ways of handling your business as opposed to the smash and dash, pump and dump theory for your average foreign traveler. All right. Oh shit, man. My man Eddie Jackson says, yeah, Doc, the movie in America was called The Other Woman, something like that shit. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, The Other Woman was with the girl who had the scandal, the Sports Illustrated chick, the girl who did the Cat Daddy. What's her name? Kate Upton. There you go, Kate Upton. Yeah, The Other Woman was the American movie. My bad. This shit's starting to. You're right. You're right. I forgot. It probably was No Other Woman, something like that. Anywho, they all had the same damn concept. Almost like it was the American version, because the guy had 3 girlfriends that didn't know about each other. He was married to one and 2 other girlfriends with Cameron Diaz and some other chick. Yeah, I did watch that movie. I forgot who the dude was that got caught up. But yeah, you're right. That was The Other Woman, and No Other Woman was probably the Philippine movie. But if you Google it, you'll know. Just type in Derek Ramsey Other Woman or some shit, and maybe that'll come up. Just get the keywords right. All right. So let me see what we got. My man says, my man found a girl that was 38 with no kids, man. Good for you. Hopefully she's a professional, though. I do believe that girls that are in their latter years in life, way past their prime per se, they have to be professional in nature. So they should definitely be business minded, or at least workers minded, I guess, if they don't have kids. Or maybe there's a reason why she can't have kids. I don't know. So what do you mean by a hot zone, bro? Why is the DR a hot zone? He said, I got contacts in China and the Philippines. Cool. Shout out to the homie Earl Owens, man. Much love to you. Yeah, Cameron Diaz, exactly. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get my shout outs before I leave, guys. My throat been acting up, man. Sorry for all the coughing and shit. That's what happens when you do live shows. Shit, fuck your throat up. So my man, Get Fact Not Fiction, long ass name, but thank you for coming through. Eddie Jackson, Earl Owens, the homie L Ghost, my man Brian K. Thank you, Kyle Winston, my man MD, Terry Edwards. Much love to you, Mr. Wonderful. Always a pleasure to see you in the building, my brother. My man Rob 100. Always good to see you participating in the chat, my dude. My man Dante Will, I see you. Quentin Willis, Heminger, I see you, bruh. Pedro, good to see you. James Miller, man, thank you for the love and support for the channel, bruh. Thank you. Who else we got in the building? Chris S, my man Eddie W, man. And of course, you guys are awesome. It has been fun. It has been real. Doc's got to go back to his reality and get back to whatever the hell he was doing. And I think you guys need to go ahead and do the same, all right? So with that being said, hold on, I got to read this comment real quick before I leave. I got to make sure no comment left unread. My man, don't take that one into consideration. A 4-way. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you should probably slow your roll. I would start with 2 at a time before going for 4 at a time. But hey, man, to each his own, man. Do you? If you can get away and make that 4-way happen for yourself, man, good luck to you. My man says people are dying under mysterious circumstances. It's been a huge story for the past months. It's suspected to be alcohol poisoning. Wow. Well, if you want to go to the DR, don't drink, I guess. I guess. I don't know, man. Be careful with what you choose to eat and consume, if that makes sense. My man Devontae, what's good with you, bro? He says so many beautiful women are being, yes, they are being taken advantage of. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. It has been real. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. If you did, get the likes up on the video on your way out. Doc would highly appreciate that one. All right. So, with that being said, the good Doc is officially out. At least knuckle. Which means I am going out. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.